Be Smart, Be Safe is a multi-agency approach to delivering some very vital messages to older people within South Lanarkshire. Involved today are Strathclyde Fire and Rescue, Strathclyde Police, Care and Repair, as well as South Lanarkshire's own financial education team from Consumer and Trading Standards, who are also providing a bogus callers play, and my own resource community, who are delivering home safety messages. We run the event over 5 days this year. We've managed to extend it for an extra 2 because it's been so popular in the past. We invite older people from a wide variety of groups and clubs and associations throughout South Lanarkshire. The format of Be Smart, Be Safe is slightly different from most information days when people just kind of wander in and wander out. It's a bit more structured. What happens is the groups come in, sit down, and I split them into small teams. That way then they are allowed to go around each of the 5 mini presentations.
Care and Repair is an independent charity. Our job is to provide free advice and assistance on all aspects of home repairs. Today at the Be Smart, Be Safe event, we are specifically speaking about 2 services which we help to provide in South Lanarkshire. One is the Safest Houses initiative, which provides free of charge security equipment supplied and fitted to the homes of older, vulnerable people.
Great for if you're away on holiday for a couple of weeks, setting this up to set a light on, or just to make people think that there's somebody in the house. Well, obviously these are all things that are handed out to, or passed out through the initiative, that are free of charge.
And the other service that we help provide in South Lanarkshire is the Lifeline project, which provides valuable information to emergency services regarding people's medication, illnesses, contacts and GP contacts. Also on the form you put your doctor's name and your doctor's telephone number, and you'll put a contact person's name and a contact person's telephone number. All that information goes on that form, put back in the container, and the container goes into the fridge.
Then they move on and work their way right round the hall until they've been to all of the 5 different sets. And each of those agencies has time to deliver their own message in their own way.
Hello, Mrs. McIntosh.
Yes.
I'm from the Water Board.
Trading Standards are doing a couple of scenarios highlighting problems with bogus callers. So the first scenario is showing problems with distraction burglary. I'll pretend to be from the Water Board, gain entry to the person's house, and then we'll steal from her basically.
Security wise, I'm probably not very security conscious myself, but I will be after today, hearing the number of examples of people being broken into and how easily people can be conned. I feel that I will be much more aware of things.
You've got a couple of your wish tiles there at the top. Do you want to come see?
The second scenario, a couple of cheeky chappies come to the door, pretend to be builders to get an overinflated cost for a repair to a roof that didn't need done.
It's a bit light-hearted, that's the thing, whereas you're listening to other people and then you're moving on, and if you get a wee bit of humour into it as well, it makes it much more interesting. It holds the interest of the people as well.
They spend 15 minutes at each of these presentations, which is not long enough for anyone's attention to start wandering, just long enough to get some real good information put over and time to ask a few questions back and forward. So there's a lot of interaction goes on there.
And I thought the whole thing was very well paced, very well organised, the whole event. And there was just enough information, and then you moved on to something else. So a lot to think about.
Or send any money as you have not bought a ticket from them. What would you do in that situation? Scams that we're primarily highlighting are the very famous Canadian lottery, Spanish lottery. We've all had either mail dropped through the post or telephone calls saying that you've won a huge prize. And what they usually ask for is money to be sent over, and then you receive the money thereafter. People, believe it or not, do think, oh well, I must have been in a sweepstake, I must have, money must have been entered into a prize draw. But if you have not bought a ticket for a lottery, how can you win a prize from it? So it's just thinking before you actually take action.
A lot of it was common sense, but it was nice to have it all pulled together and to say, oh yes, just to remind you, because although sometimes you know these things in the background, it's quite good to have them highlighted.
At the Be Smart, Be Safe event, we encourage people to put their name down to have the safest houses survey done. Also the Lifeline tubes are given out at the Be Smart Be Safe event, and people know how to use them, and they're able to ask how to use them, and they can take them away. Yeah, we get a lot of inquiries from the Be Smart Be Safe event, which is what it's really about.
Everyone who attends the event will also have a specially commissioned booklet that we have provided. It's an A4 booklet with puzzles, word searches, and what that really is for is to reinforce all the messages that they had here this morning, and it also contains a list of very useful contact information numbers, telephone numbers at the back of the book, and everyone who's here today will have a copy with that home, and also anyone who would care to phone in can have a copy sent out to them.
All of the phone numbers that we've got have been very, very helpful, I think, because you don't really know who to phone if anything happens, who to phone, or you maybe dial 99, but you might have to wait long enough before you get it. But if you've got a direct phone number, it makes a big, big difference. And all the information we got at all the tables was really fantastic. They've done very well, I think.
An additional benefit of everyone being here today is that they do go home buzzing with all the information that they've had, and are only too glad to say to their neighbour or their friend or their family member what they've learned here today and how good it all was, the information.
I found today to be very interesting. It certainly made me more aware of things that I should have known and have probably forgotten. And I'm very grateful to everyone who has contributed to us. We've had a wonderful afternoon. Thanks very much.